Alright, so this is social facilitation. Social facilitation is the concept of doing better or likely doing better on a task when someone else is watching you or when you're in competition.
Did you guys find a difference between the complexity of a task? Same question for that. With someone more likely to do better on a task that was harder or easier? Did you find anything data about that?
What I tried to do was balance the task with the amount of time, so that way the difficulty of the task was, like I said, it was more balanced with the time, so that way it would take everyone a little bit of time to complete it, so that way it wasn't too easy or too hard, to the point where people were completing it too quickly or too easily, or it was nearly impossible. So.
The research studies that have been done in the past is in 1898, Norman Triplett conducted an experiment where children had to wind thread on a wheel. And they had two portions or two groups, and one condition, like a condition, which is basically like what happened in the group, was where the children were working alone, and the other children were in pairs, but worked alone to wind the thread on the wheel. And the ones that were in pairs were supposed to be like kind of against each other, so they had to they were watching each other and they were observing each other, and that's kind of what they had to focus on, like who was being observed and who wasn't. And the results were as the children worked faster while there was a competition or someone else was observing it. So like the kids who were in pairs worked faster. Okay. Our research was we were looking to find whether people would work better under pressure of competition. And we measured the concept by the average of the control side scores versus the average of the experimental side scores. And our hypothesis was if a person is in competition or being watched, then they will likely do better on the task or activity than someone who is not being watched or in competition.
So our independent variable was whether groups were in competition and had pressure put on them or not. The dependent variable was how the different groups responded to the competition. For the control group, we told them that it was not a competition and to just work at their own pace and everyone gets candy. For the experimental group, they were told that they're competing against a partner and the prize for winning is candy.
Our operational definitions were a competition with other people who are being watched / judged by peers or judges and teachers. Do better on some sort of task, in this case a moderate / easy math quiz. Better being a significant difference in the average of scores between control and experimental. And the control administrator will have to have a zero interference with the test. No walking around or expect to pass up the test, and the experimental side, we were walking around and observing and watching and kind of looking over shoulders and stuff.
Which added to the pressure.
Yeah.
Our research finding, we measured the scores on the quiz of both the experimental group and the control group separately, then subtracted the averages to find the difference in averages. So here the control group average was 67.4%, and the experimental group average was 71.1%, and the difference was 3.7%. What the data means is data, although it was close, it does prove our hypothesis of competition and pressure increasing scores. However, those scores do include the outliers in this data with the left side or the experimental side with the eliminated outliers. The left side or the control side with eliminated outliers, they scored 66.25% average without the obviously without the outlier. Right side with the eliminated outliers, it was 78.75% average. which resulted in a difference in the scores of 12.5%. And what this data means, when the two extreme outliers from each group are removed, one high score and one low score, the data moves closer to the trimmed mean, which is essentially the middle 80% of the scores, thus proving our hypothesis even further. The trimmed mean is basically 10% trimmed off of each side, which in this case it was exactly the trimmed mean, with 80% of the scores resulting in those percentages. And with the eliminated outliers, it essentially just got rid of people who knew this type of math like the back of their hand and just didn't care. And that just resulted in a higher difference. If I were to do this again, I would we would separate the groups completely by putting one in the hallway or using the boards differently. And we basically had everyone in here just due to made it more convenient for us and Mr. Cohen to observe everyone. We would be stricter about the groups talking as it took away from working separately. I know I heard a little bit of talking on the control side. I'm not sure about the. And also, again, for convenience, we would probably have you guys take a Google form instead of a paper quiz, because just out of convenience for everyone. So
overall, what would you guys say for how social facilitation impacts human behavior?
Basically, you get that.
We kind of thought that it impacts human behavior by kind of showing that people work better when they're competing with each other, and it kind of represents how the world is today, with how everything is competition, and you work to get a job and you just compete bigly. So this kind of represented that through data.
Yeah, and again, the power of the situation, the power of the influence of a group around you shows clearly here that we will perform better. Now, typically with this concept is on simpler tasks, but again, that's really unique to each person. But we will still perform better on tasks in the presence of others versus on our own. And your data clearly shows, especially with those outliers being eliminated there, of just how that actually works in the competition, which clearly then we're much more impacted by the competition of others than just by competing with ourselves. Anything else? Any questions?